Hello and welcome! Today's video is going to be pretty unique from my previous videos that I've posted all about mountain biking because today I'm going to be doing part one of building a new PC for the studio. We'll be going over all of the different parts and why I chose them. All of this is under a $5,000 budget, by the way, and I will try to leave links in the description so you can check out exactly what I'm using if you wish to do so. But with that said, I know a lot of you who've been following this channel since the get-go know that I actually started by doing a lot of music recording and music videos before I got into doing big projects like building mountain bikes and motorized bikes and all that good stuff you guys have seen lately. So with that, let's get into this video and I will bring you along my journey of building my dream PC for a creator, doing video editing, music production. Obviously this thing will be a gaming beast for those of you who are gamers out there and would like to have inspiration from this build. So without further ado, let's get started. So starting off with the case here that will be the house of this build, I'm going with the Fractal Meshify 2 compact case. I know this looks compact, it's still pretty big. All of these parts are so much bigger than me here hiding behind them. But this is a super clean design, all black. We're going for a blackout look. For the color theme, no RGB. It's got plenty of ports, 2 USB 3.0s. We've got a headphone jack, microphone jack, and USB Type-C, so that should have everything I'd want just on the top there. And this should fit all of the components in a very sleek way. Very well built, really good airflow because this will be an air-cooled PC. We'll talk a little more about that in a moment. But we're going for the tinted tempered glass panel here. We've got amazing airflow with the 120mm fan in the back and 2 140mm fans in the front. And we may end up switching those out with some others. That's just what the Fractal case comes with. But yeah, definitely felt like it was worth it to spend a little bit of extra to get a nice case that was going to be looked at every day as well as be a little more sturdy and functional than some of the cheaper cases on the market. So next up on the list here for the motherboard, I'm going with the Asus ProArt Z790 Creator Wi-Fi motherboard. I picked this one out. First of all, it was really highly rated, really great for creators as it suggests in the name obviously, mostly because it has a ton of really great ports on the back, lots of USB-Cs, USBs, and even has enough AUX jacks, audio jacks on the back to support surround sound. Not that I will be using that feature very much, but I was really pleased with how many ports and features this thing came with, which will be really useful for music production and all of that to plug in all of my MIDI controllers, MIDI keyboards, all that good stuff. So this has PCIe 5.0 and we'll be using DDR5 RAM. And you will be seeing all these components out of the box and in action in the next video. So this video is pretty much just why I chose them and going over them so that you all can have a better understanding of that before I build the PC. So this is definitely a little overkill for just gaming, but because I'm a creator doing video editing, music production, all of that, having really fast transfer speeds between everything and lots of good ports and support for a lot of nice components was definitely a must for me, so I decided to go with this one. And next up we have the power supply. This is the Be Quiet Straight Power 11. It is a 1200 watt, 80 plus platinum rated power supply. If you don't know what that means, it essentially means that it is very efficient and is not going to draw a whole lot of power out of our outlets to be a super high power bill each month. The best rating is titanium, so I did want to get the Be Quiet Pro 12, I believe, which was 80 plus titanium, which is the highest rating that a power supply can be, but it was all out of stock and it was a couple $100 more, so I decided to go with this one because the 80 plus platinum was still going to meet all of my needs, and 1200 watts should be plenty to power everything that we need. Be Quiet is also a great company when it comes to the quality of their builds as well as the fan quality. So this will be nice and quiet, as it also suggests in the name, for music producing, so I don't have a ton of loud fans going all the time, which could potentially be heard in the mic if I'm not putting my PC in a separate room or a separate closet from the room that I'm doing my recordings in. Now for the CPU, which is another crucial component of this build, I'm going with the new Intel 13900K Core i9 processor. So this is pretty powerful, 24 cores up to 5.8 gigahertz, I believe. and it should be pretty good for the build. Now, this is where your question might arise. Why are you going with an air-cooled build for some of you PC enthusiasts out there? Because this thing is pretty powerful, draws a lot of power, heats up a lot, and my answer to that is I chose one of the best air coolers on the market. I've seen some reviews, and we'll talk a little more about that in a moment here, but I believe I could tame this to do air cooling just because of the fact that I'm not a type to overclock a bunch of components. I use them pretty much at their manufacturer recommendations, so to speak, and I'm not trying to get a whole bunch of boost or overclock out of them. So this should perform very well and still be okay doing an air-cooled system. And I'll talk about how I'm going to tame it a bit more and why I believe it'll be okay being air-cooled, because next up I've got some other stuff related to the CPU that I bought that should help it out a bit with that cooling, as well as the general installation of it. So we have the Thermal Grizzly contact frame. Again, you'll see these out of the box. Maybe I'll put a little screenshot on a screen of what this looks like. And it essentially goes in place of the default CPU mount that comes with the motherboard. Should provide a lot more even pressure and contact to help the CPU not warp over time from heat, which can happen with the uneven contact pressure that the default contact frame comes with. So we're going with this one. This is the Thermal Grizzly one. You can find knockoffs for like 10 bucks on Amazon. I wouldn't recommend it though. Based on what I've seen, the Thermal Grizzly one's really great because they are all hand CNC'd down to a very fine specification, which is super important when you're dealing with components that can potentially expand and contract when they change temperatures, like the CPU. And this should also help be a bit of like a heat sink almost to allow the CPU to sit nice and flat to allow the maximum contact to the air cooler to hopefully save a few degrees Celsius on the CPU temperatures. And to pair that with the Thermal Grizzly contact paste, that's what I'm going to be using instead of the default paste that comes with the air cooler. So this was, again, really highly rated. Should be pretty good. Might not save a bunch of heat from the default stuff, but it was well rated and I figured I'd give it a try. And that brings us to the CPU air cooler that I decided to go with. This is the Noctua NH-D15. Many of you may have already heard of this one. It's really, really popular. Been out for a while, proven to be really, really great. Good build quality, good cooling, quiet fans. Noctua is definitely known for their high quality fans. And this should be pretty good. It should tame that 13900K CPU, hopefully. I'm hoping I can fit 2 fans on it, but I may have to only have 1 fan, the fan right in the middle, because I'm not sure if the outside fan will fit over the RAM that I'm going to be installing. But I guess we'll see. It should still cool it off with just the 1 fan, since I am having an extra exhaust fan in the back of the case. Should hopefully get the airflow that I want. So we'll try it out. If something goes terribly wrong or the CPU ends up being too hot in the thermal tests that we'll do later down the road, then I may end up switching to a water cooler with a radiator, but we'll see. So stay tuned for the next video, and I guess we'll see how this thing does. And now before I move on to the final piece of this build, I wanted to go over all of the little bits and pieces that are going to be going on the motherboard. So starting off with the SSDs, I have the Samsung 990 Pro SSD. This is a 2 terabyte SSD for my operating system. I'll be running Windows 11 Pro most likely on this build. But this is stupidly fast transfer speeds, which will be really, really great for the operating system. And then for my 2 creator drives, so to speak, for storing videos and music and all the other stuff besides the operating system and apps and programs, I'm going with the FireCuda 530 drives. These are super highly rated for lots of rewrite data and everything, and they're not gonna experience much of a life degrade over time from that. So really great for exporting super high file size videos and everything without noticing a whole bunch of decrease in performance over time. And I'm going with 2 terabyte ones. That's what my budget could allow right now. Maybe I will upgrade to 4 terabytes later on, but that gives me a total of 6 terabytes in the whole build of NVMe SSD storage, which should be super fast. And again, these are crazy fast as well. but the Samsung 990 Pro was pretty much the fastest I could find, and it should be really great for the operating system. And then going with the RAM, I decided to go with the Kingston Fury RAM. This is 2 sticks. They are 32 gigabytes each, and they are DDR5. So this will give me a total of 64 gigs of DDR5 at, I think, 5,600 megabits per second transfer speed, which is pretty darn fast. Should be plenty for my needs. Decided to go with 2 32 gigabyte ones instead of 4 16 gigabyte ones, knowing that I wanted around 64 gigabytes, and I can always upgrade it anytime by buying this same set again and have 128 gigabytes of RAM, which is honestly a bit overkill for anything I've ever used, especially with DDR5. So that's what I'm going with for the RAM. And now for the moment you all have been waiting for, and kind of the centerpiece of this build, the most expensive piece of this build for sure, the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090 GPU. I actually managed to get my hands on a factory or Founders Edition card here. I just have to open it. Beautiful display. I really can't wait to put this thing in the build. So I'm super excited. This should give me everything I need working with DaVinci Resolve, which is the editing platform I use for my videos. It supports AV1 encoding. We've got 24 gigabytes of DDR6 VRAM and tons of CUDA cores. Everything should be really great about this card. It is one of the best on the market right now. I realize that graphics cards are crazy hard, even to this day, to get your hands on, especially the Founders Edition ones. So I do feel lucky that I could get this. I got this one from Best Buy in particular. Again, I'll post an Amazon link if I could even find a link for one, but you may have to look around to a lot of different places to find something of your liking. If I didn't get the Founders Edition, I had my eye on the MSI Supreme X 4090. So that's another amazing option if you can't get the Founders Edition card. It is $100 more. Personally, I just really like the build quality and everything of the Founders Edition, and I was super happy that I could get this one last minute. Hopefully it works out really well. It also is a little bit shorter than the MSI one, which will fit in my case much better, because the MSI one, I think, only had like 4 millimeters of room before it would hit the fans on the front for the Meshify compact case that I got. So you may have to go with a slightly bigger case, something like the Corsair 4000D case if you get the MSI card. So hopefully this works, hopefully it fits and is really good. And with that, that pretty much concludes all of the parts I am using in this build. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm certainly excited to build this awesome editing production machine up. I hope you all are getting something out of this. I figured it would be helpful to do a video prior to the build, just going over all the parts, why I chose them. And again, you could find slight compromises to each one of these parts depending on your budget. For example, you might not have to go with a 4090 necessarily for the GPU, etc. But yeah, I'm super excited for this build. Be sure to subscribe for the next video where I will be attempting to build this PC. This will be my first PC build, so do not take my word for tons of stuff as an expert. I just want to kind of share my journey and hopefully get something out of it. And you all will know what my system includes for future videos that I will hopefully be doing of bringing some music production and more filmmaking stuff back onto the channel. That's kind of what I'm hoping to do, having a better system that can support that a little more. So with that, be sure to subscribe, comment below any questions or any other parts that you might substitute for one of these. If you are building it for yourself, I always love to hear other people's opinions and everything. And with that said, I will see you in the build video.